So here we are today working on some windows, and we've got this room all taped up, and basically it's an EPA compliant work site, which means that, as you can see behind me, I've got this whole kind of tent wall across the room. The plastic is all over the floor, and this allows me to literally work in a room where people need to pass through during the rest of the day when I'm not here without bombing out the house. So what we've got going on here is we're just basically rebuilding these windows, and this is a sash that I've taken apart. It's got some broken glass in it, and what I'm doing right now is planing off the edge so we get a nice straight bottom edge on it, and then I plane off the sides here so that it's nice and flush, and I also end up adding a weather strip to this side, and then of course the top part gets planed off, and put a piece of weather strip, a piece of silicone in the top and the bottom where the rub rails are. So as you can see, I take these windows all the way apart. This is not a partial job, or I don't put any shims or spacers in here. I take these windows all the way apart, and from top to bottom, I take the top sash out, the bottom sash out, all the parting stop, everything gets sanded and then put back together really well. And it's a complete disassembly. And when we're done, there's new rope on the weights. All the weights are down here on the floor. I always mark them. Funny enough, these weights here, I don't know why they do this. I'm not sure why they do this, but these weights there's like a heavier one on the left and a lighter one on the right, and then the top sash has got a heavier one on the right and a lighter one on the left. I don't know why they did that. I'm sure there's some rhyme or reason, and that's why I mark them. If I take them out and they're different, and the window right next to it, the exact same size window, they're all equal size. So I don't know if they were just short on weights or what was going on back then, but I mark them and I put them back just the way I find them. And then this is the, I'll show you this real quick. This is real nice. This is the brush gasket that I put on the side of the window, and what this does is this goes on the side of the sash, so when this goes up and down, you've got a really nice brush gasket right here that slides up and down on this surface, and everything gets put back together and painted and put back together real nice, and the windows go up and down super smooth because they've got these brush gaskets on the side. And of course the window ropes are all new and fresh, so they move nice. And then because there's a silicone gasket between the rub rails, you get a really nice airtight pocket there, and then there's an 8mm silicone gasket on the bottom, so you get a really nice airtight gasket down there, and it just totally changes these antique windows. What I'm really learning about this is that these people that hire me to do this, what they're really doing is they're just hiring me for history. I mean, these are people that really want to keep their houses historic and keep the original windows in place and that kind of thing. And the woman that I'm working for this week, her sister's actually getting new windows over at her house in Kansas, and she's putting in all vinyl windows. And so totally different kinds of approach. Vinyl window companies are actually saying now that you need to plan on replacing them again in like 15 years. So they're actually telling the truth now when they sell them. But this is a different deal. This is a historic preservation, and these windows are all going to go back in and last a long time, and whoever gets this house next will have historic windows in them, and they'll be well preserved. So anyway, just a little peek in what goes on around here. You can learn how to do this. It's not hard. You just have to buy about 900 pounds worth of tools and be willing to get super dusty and then clean up real carefully when you're done. So there you go. Sash windows. I love these sash windows.